Forgive me for not making a post-game video about the Montreal Canadiens and the San Jose Sharks last night, but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that was a video that most of y'all weren't even really paying attention for. Because yesterday's game between the Habs and the Sharks started at 7:30 p.m. PST. I, for one, was mostly preoccupied with the Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche, so I didn't even watch the Canadiens and the Sharks game. And number two, the fact that that Habs game went on for so long, with goal reviews and extended time in between the goal reviews, and everybody was getting annoyed with how long the broadcast was taking. The last thing that you, in Montreal, wanted to do after watching that long freaking hockey game was wait around for me to make a post-game video and then watch it on your platform of choice to end off your Tuesday night. I feel like the majority of Canadiens fans, after the Canadiens beat the Sharks, just went hasta la vista and passed out and went to bed. That was an unnecessarily long hockey game. But one of the interesting things about this game that was talked about by Arpon Basu and brought up on social media as well, even before the game began, I actually thought this was a really great opportunity for Kent Hughes. I thought this was a great opportunity for us to dive into it. Let's go over Montreal Canadiens trade pieces and what their team could be looking for. Firstly, this show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and check out the first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support the channel all in the process. But also, I wanted to highlight the goal scorers in yesterday's Habs and Sharks game. Because, aside from the extended goal reviews, we did have ourselves a whole bunch of other action on the score sheet. In particular, goals were scored by Cole Caulfield, Alex Newhook, Brendan Gallagher, and Yoel Armia. Big pats on the back for me because I dropped Patrick Laine and he didn't get himself a point in this one. I also dropped Lane Hudson and Carrier, so yeah, I'm kind of biting the bullet on those, but still, I wouldn't have been able to play them because yesterday was kind of a stacked day in the NHL. There were way too many games on yesterday. But the game-winning goal scored by Montreal was scored by Yoel Armia, shorthanded, assisted by Jake Evans, with 4 minutes to go in the third period. It was a beautiful play. My gosh. Like, Jake Evans with the steal to force the 2-on-1 whilst the Canadiens are undermanned. And with that 2-on-1 opportunity, he goes cross-crease, Yoel Armia snipes it on the goaltender there, wins the game. That's a game-winning goal for the ages. What a nice play, what a clutch play. And the Canadiens, they're suiting up one more time today against the LA Kings, so we'll see what they do later tonight. But either way, I wanted to go over to a tweet made by Brendan that goes over some comments posted by Arpon Basu. He brought up the idea of trading Yoel Armia and Jake Evans as a package. The other team would add the best penalty-killing duo in the league and a ready-made fourth line with chemistry already established. The Habs could get a massive haul in return. It's not a bad idea. I think the return would have to be massive. I'd like both of those guys on my team next year to keep our elite PK unit together. And this is where we dive into some of the should use or could use, because obviously the could you is, yes, you definitely could. It would be very beneficial to any other NHL team to acquire both Yoel Armia and Jake Evans in some sort of a package deal. Evans is making $1.7 million, Armia is making $3.4 million. These contracts are both expiring at the end of the season, so if the Montreal Canadiens decide to retain, then you could be getting Armia and Evans for the right bull price of what is 34 plus 17, that is 51 divided by 2, 25 and a half, so $2.55 million on your cap. And yeah, you know, even without the discount, even if you just do 5.1 million for two of the best penalty killers in the league, who play together, who have chemistry, who can score shorthanded goals, and who work very well together 5-on-5, I don't know about you, but the prospect value for what the Canadiens could receive should be massive. Like, obviously, if you're trading Evans and Armia to a playoff contending team, they're not going to trade away any significant roster assets, like modern day, on the roster kind of guys in exchange. You're not trading away these guys for a player that's already good. Teams will be using those. So you're probably getting some draft picks, you're getting some prospects in exchange, maybe some prospects that are on the borderline of being NHL ready. But the value of those prospects long term probably should be huge, because just what the value of Evans and Armia bring together in the now, that's already huge. They won the game single-handedly yesterday, and even when they're not going out there and scoring shorthanded goals to break the tie in the final few minutes of a hockey game, they're still providing so much extra value. Even when the Canadiens were going through that extremely long losing streak, people were still talking about Yoel Armia as one of the more valuable players on the team. Hey, he's got this ability to just keep on going, and he's able to protect the puck, and he's able to forecheck, and he's able to hold the puck away from guys. I mean, Armia facilitates play really well. I've always been a fan of the guy, and Jake Evans has been exhibiting the best success of his NHL career in this 24-25 campaign. I get that you want to bring these guys back. If you want to contend for the playoffs next year, having Armia and Evans certainly helps you more than not having them. But think about what you could get on the trade market. I mean, if you really wanted to pull off that Antoine Vermette strategy, that's the one caveat that I think always acts as the wild card in these sort of conversations. If they just really wanted to stay, if they decided to go the Antoine Vermette route, you trade Armia and Evans to some team that's in the playoffs, that are going to be contenders. Maybe they win a cup. Who really knows? The Canadiens get a bunch of great stuff in exchange, and then in the offseason, Yoel Armia and Evans say, okay, great, we won a cup. Fantastic, let's go back to Montreal. Like, that could very well happen. It's certainly unrealistic, but it is possible. And I think that would be the best case scenario for anybody in Montreal that's paying attention to the standings or paying attention to what the implications are draft-wise if the Canadiens trade away some of their more important bottom six players and top penalty killers. We've seen the Habs penalty kills suck in the past, but this unit right here, I mean, screw the percentages. The percentages are one thing, but just the impact and how they're able to convert chances and kill off the opposition. I mean, it works so well, you almost don't want to break it up. But at some point, you have to think, like, okay, Armia and Evans, these guys might get traded separately, but why not trade them together? If a team's looking for one guy, it's more likely that they probably could use the other too, right? In fact, they make each other better after all, so would it not be more beneficial to trade for both of these guys instead of one? I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the idea of a Yoel Armia and a Jake Evans trade packaged together. If you're a fan of a team that is not Montreal, if you're a fan of a playoff team, what are your thoughts on this idea? Would you want to make this trade? I feel like Armia and Evans in a bottom six rather than some rookie who is being thrusted into a checking role or something. Armia and Evans could be some of the best bottom sixers in the entire NHL, especially when they're together. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the trade price? What do you think these guys could fetch if they were acquired together? And do you think it's more beneficial for the Canadiens to make this sort of a trade go down rather than just trading one of them or both of them separately or just keeping them? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.